Catherine Ham, Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you. The Morning Majority, 630.
WMAL. 7:37 on the Morning Majority. I gotta tell you, an alphabet soup of polls looking bad for the president this morning.
It is ugly.
Extremely bad. The Washington Post poll, interestingly, in the internals, showing 56% of Americans believe that they want less spending and less less big government. So that, not a great sign for the president. We've got Jake Tapper on the line, the White House press corps, ABC News, been writing about the president. How's it going, Jake?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I got to ask you about this. The Hoffa comments at the Labor Day rally, which was, sort of a little preview of the president's speech, and Hoffa got pretty nasty, cursing, calling the Tea Party and other political adversaries sons of bitches. And I get a little ticked off about this because I feel like I'm held to account for every off-kilter statement by any right-of-center person. But now the president has declined to comment on this. He's the guy who told us to raise the tone. Where's the action on this?
Well, I think that's a question that the White House will face today. Now, the president was not there apparently when Hoffa made his remarks, but the White House is certainly aware of them. And as you noted, he referred to Tea Party members as SOBs. Although he didn't use the acronym, and I went to Arizona for President Obama's speech after Congresswoman Giffords was shot, and we talked about the need for the country to rise above the kind of bitter, angry name calling. So if one held the president or believed the president's words at the time, it would seem that a no comment doesn't really cut it.
Yeah, it's just, I find it personally annoying because I feel like I'm made to denounce people frequently. I'm like, come on!
Yeah, well, it's not my job to denounce or to
No, not you. I'm not asking you to.
I think that, I have not followed your denunciation record.
Yeah, that's
it's
the thing.
extensive, trust me.
You have to look it up.
But I do think like every couple of weeks, somebody says something like this.
Right.
The last time I covered something like this, I believe, was when Governor Perry made his comments about the Fed chair.
Right.
And just as a reporter, I can say, quite honestly, that this is always a moment where one side is horrified and outraged and shocked and has never heard such vitriol, and the other side claims that the person was being quoted out of context, or this is just the media doing what the media does, or you're missing the larger point. This is just part of being a journalist in this modern age. Is just every 2 or 3 weeks somebody says something like this, and I think this is probably one of the things that people don't like about politicians is that so many people, and pundits for that matter, is that people, and I'm not talking about any of you, but is that people excuse the behavior of people with whom they agree politically, and they take there's a little more energy in their outrage for when people on the other side of the aisle say things that are across the line, and it's all a bit tiresome.
All right, Jake, as the president gets ready to give this big speech on Thursday, not Wednesday but Thursday, what do you think he's going to lay out? What are you hearing about the bones of this speech?
Well, obviously there's going to be a lot that we've heard before in terms of the payroll tax cut and infrastructure spending. I think my understanding is you're going to hear a lot of things that there is a record of bipartisan support for them. Because one of the points that the president is trying to make, both as a policy decision and politically, is let's do things that everybody has supported in the past. The Democrats and Republicans have supported in the past. And as you guys know, in the past, the transportation appropriations bill is usually one of the most easily passed pieces of legislation in the country
because it's larded
every
up.
Democrat and every Republican wants bridges, roads, infrastructure in their districts built. And so I'm sure that will be part of it. But there are supposed to be some surprises in there as well.
What are you hearing about, and as we move, now we're past Labor Day, about anything actually getting done? We just had Major Garrett on. He was talking about, listen, the gas tax is going to end up. We still don't have a budget. I mean, are we going to be in battle mode from here until the 2012 election and the ease of things actually getting done in the next couple of months?
I suspect that will be the case. I'm not a big, I tend to report on things and not predict them, but I mean, it's hard to look at the track record of the last year and see, a lot of future of cooperation when people can't even agree on a date for the president to address the session of Congress. It seems like the idea of where they would come together. I mean, look at this. Republicans feel that the president, and rightly, accurately so, the president is vulnerable. And that's certainly going to fuel a lot of their opposition to his policies, including, obviously, in addition, there'll be some sincere opposition to his policies. But there is, to a degree, an element on the Democratic side of let's propose something and Republicans will oppose it and then we'll run against them. I mean, the president.
Jake, I wonder what you think. I mean, people are saying, the president is vulnerable. His poll numbers are low. The numbers for Democrats and Republicans in Congress also extremely low. I wonder what it means, sort of the general lack of faith means for the president's future.
I don't know. I heard one pundit speculate the other day that this could be the first election in the modern era where both the where the president and the speaker both lose their jobs. People are from opposing parties. But you're right. I mean, the disapproval of the president in the new ABC News Washington Post poll is, I believe, 53%. It's higher than that for disapproval on the economy, but overall disapproval is, I believe, 53%. And for Republicans in Congress, it's 68%, which is 1 point shy of an all-time record high in the ABC News Washington Post poll. So it's not as if either side is being embraced at all. It really is a pox on both your houses and a disgust. And just having been out there, both on the in the real world outside of Washington, both for covering things, whether it's the Iowa straw poll or the president's bus tour through Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois, and also just on vacation. I went to Deep Creek Lake, Maryland, which is right near the West Virginia border. It's very clear people are just disgusted with Washington, just absolutely disgusted.
They sure are.
Disapproval of politicians is at an all-time high. There was a poll number I saw, I think it was an ABC, no, it was a Gallup poll. 17% of the public approves of politicians. That's lower than lawyers, bankers, and executives from the oil and gas industry.
Wow. All right, Jake, good to have you on as always. Appreciate it.